Hello, friends. I have been an active member of the Toastmasters Club in Williton for a few years now. And advancing to the higher levels of a project, I needed to create a podcast. And one thing that has always fascinated me is the level of commitment by the committee members of the G.O.A. in giving their time, talent, skills, and everything they have to do the very best for our community. Our G.O.A. community is really unique in that it is an umbrella for not just Goans but also for Mangaloreans, East Indians, Anglo-Indians, and any other Indians who would like to be a part of this association. Being part of a committee is not at all an easy task. If anything, it is extremely challenging. Behind the scenes, a lot of work goes, whether it is in the committee meetings, whether it is in the planning of an event, liaising with suppliers, with the people who are going to help out with the event, down to winding up the event and at times even holding a broom and mop in spite of a tiring full day's work in preparation for the event. Mind you, it is not for the faint-hearted. So for my project, I was really fortunate to interview two really important pillars of the G.O.A. committee, Norma D'Souza, the secretary, and Russell De Silva, the president. Our first guest for the podcast is Norma. Norma D'Souza is the secretary of the G.O.A. and she's been fulfilling this role for the past 2 terms. Let's unpack more of what Norma's thoughts are and her contribution towards the G.O.A. Small intro about yourself. Would you like to just give us a brief share something about you with us?
I migrated from Bombay. I've been in Australia for probably 35 years, and Australia is now home to me. But I think your roots are your roots, and I will always have some affiliation to my early years in Bombay, in India. I still love the food, I love the people, particularly the Goans, because they are such warm and hospitable people. I have a family here, I've got a husband and 3 kids, and yes, a lot of my life revolves around them, even though they are grown up. And that's about it.
Thanks so much, Norma. So that seems like you love us so much that you decided to voluntarily serve us, and you've done a really marvelous job of being a part of this special organization called Goan Overseas Association. Which the name? Do you agree that the name might be a bit misleading because it's not just Goans there? Like there's all of us, all different kinds of people who fall under that kind of an umbrella.
Yes and no. If one would think that Goan Overseas Association is about Goans only, but what it does say about the Goans is that they are very open, welcoming, hospitable people who don't care what nationality, what class, whatever you are. If you want to be part of us, then you're welcome. Come learn about our association, learn about our culture, and be one with us. And that's really a beautiful thing, that the Goans feel that way, that anyone is allowed. There's no discrimination.
Yeah, that's so true, Norma. I couldn't agree more with you. And let's go right to the beginning of how this all began. How did you first get involved with the association?
When I try and think back, I think I have to go back to when we relocated from Sydney to Perth back in 2004. At that that time, we just became members of the G.O.A because it was just being part of a social network. I was not actively involved in any way, not even at attending their events. And then I think in 2014, when Kevin, my husband, with such recognition of our time and our effort, and it is that moment that you realize, you know what, this is all worth it, because the reward you get through that recognition, through that acknowledgement, through the messages, through the, even the days after the event, you'll have so many text messages, so many people talking to you about it. It makes it all worthwhile. And I enjoy community service, but to get that sort of acknowledgement makes me feel like I must be doing something right and something purposeful.
I totally agree, Norma. Like behind the scenes, there is like so much to do, and that's leading to my next question. What do people not see about running a community organization?
Um, there are a few things, depending on who you talk to, but the one thing that stands out for me in my 4 years with the committee is that people they underestimate the role that they play in making an event a success. We can have the best of events, get the best sponsorships, and do it in the grandest of way. But if people don't show up, it means nothing. And I think that's where uh, people need to be more aware of the part they play and how important it is for them to continue to support if they want this community to exist and to thrive. And a very recent example was we secured funds from the Office of Multicultural Interest from government to hold information sessions. And we did information sessions on financial management, and we did information sessions on how our seniors can continue to live in their own homes independently with government assistance. And while we got a good turnout for those sessions, which were fully sponsored by the government grant, the fact is that we just didn't get enough people to actually make use of those grants. And that's unfortunate. And that's where I say that we need the community to rally behind every committee that puts themselves forward to do this work.
I couldn't
And
agree more.
I will say I'm an offender too. Before I joined the committee, I was a very passive member of the association. I just took everything for granted. I never turned up for events and whatever. And now when I think that was so disrespectful of me not to even be a loyal member. It's totally that is so important. Yeah.
Yeah, I that's very true, Norma. Like, yes, so much of effort goes in, and I mean, I've seen you all work behind the scenes, and it's like months of planning before an event. Liaising with the suppliers or with the caterers and
Yeah.
the venue booking. So it's like a long process. I guess that's also something that the community looks like overlooks in the efforts. It's not just an event slapped together. It takes a lot of coordination and a lot of collaboration from the committee and a lot of your personal time, which is like, with your family, and especially for, people like you who are in a full-time role, a very challenging full-time role, and to juggle family and other things that you have in your life. It's highly commendable that you guys voluntarily do this for the community. And I hope that through this podcast, somewhere, some Goans at least, or some members of the association rather, would be inspired, if nothing, to at least come to the events and to show some support and to help the organization grow. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Thank you.
What do you think? Why do you think it is important to preserve the Goan culture overseas, and especially in this a bit of an isolated place like Perth?
Um, See, every nationality, every place likes to think that their culture is rich with heritage and should be preserved. And I see the Goan culture as being a very very rare brand in that way. It's a fusion of Indian culture and Portuguese culture that was blended together. And there was a little bit of British influence as well in it, even though it was the Portuguese who ruled Goa, it's the British who ruled India. And all of those things, infused the culture that Goa has. And when we go back decades, you realize the song, the dance, the festivals, the food, the dress, it goes on and on. It's one thing after another that makes this culture so rich. And it would be really sad if this culture died and um, our children and generations after that never ever knew what this culture looked like. So I think that's one side of it. But when I think about it, the other side is we live in Australia, which embraces culture and diversity. We live in a land that tolerates different cultures, that allows us to have all these things. And we have other culture, other nationalities coming to our events as well. And that is such a good thing, that it is something that people want to know about. And so I think it would be a miss of us to take it for granted and just, say, oh, well, if it dies a natural death, then so be it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's really nice to see other people of other cultures come and join the events and have a nice time. I think we've had a
Yeah.
few events where we've seen different people of different cultures who've kind of blended in and added their own
Yeah.
kind of like a spice to the event, and with their, whether it's with their dancing or their singing, and
Correct.
it's been really nice. Yeah.
When we had Sanja one year, we had so many Australians come, and because we had so many Australians and we wanted to cater to everyone at the event,
Yeah.
we had so much line dancing and thing. I think you were part of the committee at that time, and it was so good to see the fusion of two different cultures
Yes.
meet, and that's what this is all about,
Yeah,
fusion of
I
culture.
agree. Yeah, true. And how do you feel this role has changed you as a person?
Oh my God, it's made me more organized. I think as
I think
being
you've
the
always been
general
organized, Norma.
being the general secretary of the association, you have your finger in every pie. Need to have your finger on the pulse in everything you do, and that's why I like the role of secretary. The second time around, when I decided to stay on, I know there were thoughts about, oh, should we swap Russell and Norma, and should Norma take this program? I don't think I wanted the role of presidency, and I don't think Russell wanted to be the general secretary, because we both enjoyed the roles we had. But I'll tell you, the thing that developed me the most, and I say this because, Sharon, I don't think people realize, probably because in my job I'm an HR person, and I converse a lot with people. I do a lot of people issues, and so there's mediation and grievance and management and all that. I don't think they realize I'm a very introverted and a very shy person. And I'll say this to you. In the last committee in 2022-24, we had you over there. And naturally, because we are an association, a not for profit organization, we're very conservative with money. And you know that. We would
Yeah.
have budgets, we try to save everywhere. One thing we would save on is having an MC,
Yeah.
because it costs us money. And who would do it? Sharon will do the MC. Sharon will take the mic. Nobody had to worry about it. But what happened? Sharon stepped down and was not part of the committee in 2024. We have no one to do it, Sharon. You left a big hole over there for us. And just wanted to, be conservative about our spending and save money, not get an MC. So, and nobody wanted to take the mic. So, who was the dummy who had to do it? I took the mic and I started. And for me, that was a big step. It was huge for me to stand in front of an audience, sometimes 250, 270 people, in an event, and be an MC. And it was very unnerving for me, very, nerve-wracking. And I did it because the association needed somebody to do it out of charity because we couldn't pay for it. we were, and I think that has taught me that if I dig deep down, I do have good skills and attributes that I
Totally.
choose not to use, not because. And when push comes to shove, and nobody wants to do it, I took the mic and I did it.
Yeah.
So that has developed me more than anyone. The other thing, without a doubt, is I've made a lot of new friends and networks, and for that I'll always be grateful. And that includes you, Sharon, getting to know you, getting to work with you, getting to see how you do things. You're so talented in what you do, and actually drawing upon you. Maybe that's my HR side coming out. Then, can do something well, tap into their resources, go back to them and get something.
Of
And we come
course.
here all the time. Yes, it has been a.
Next thing is, do you have any advice that you could give to someone who's thinking of volunteering, either with the association or with some other in some other capacity?
Um, Probably one of the things that comes to mind is that when you take on this sort of a role and an association that has, more than 500 members to it, you will never please everyone. So I have learned that no matter what you do, you will never please anyone. You've got to have broad shoulders to be able to take criticism. And some of the criticism is very constructive and it's good feedback that helps you do better. But by the same token, and regrettably, some of the criticism is just harsh and unnecessary, and it can put you down. But I think if as a person, and I think the one thing that has been my defense mechanism or my coping mechanism in these cases is to remind myself why I'm there. I'm there to look after the interests of the community as a whole. I'm not there to be that nice person, to be that loved person, and I'm not there to please everyone, because I will never please everyone, and I'll only start to feel disappointed in myself, no matter what my achievements are, if I continually try to. And I think that is the advice I would give anyone stepping into the next committee. Have your focus on community interests, what is best for the community, and stay with your intentions. Don't let others sway you and say, this is the better thing to do and you should do this, because everyone has an opinion and I think they're entitled to their opinion. Nothing
course.
wrong with people having their opinions, but what you need to do is take it on board and use it in a way that will benefit the community. And that would be the best advice I could give from my 4 years of learning.
That's so true. Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. And another question would be, what brings comes to my mind is, like, yes, you've, shared with us so much, like so many of these aspects of your life and of your role in the association. I'm just curious, like, what do you do to unwind? Like, you've got so much on your plate. What are some things that you enjoy doing, like on the side, where like where you can just let your hair down and like how do you relax?
Um, I must be a personality A type that is hyper because relaxation doesn't come easy to me. In fact, my children have said to me, Mom, you should never retire because you will drive everybody crazy in the house, and you will give everyone jobs to do that are useless jobs. They're not even worth doing. So I've come to believe that I'm that person who needs to always keep busy, and that's not a bad thing. In
Yeah.
terms of what I do to wind down, and I say this also given my circumstances, where as a result of Kevin's stroke, which was a major stroke, um, I need to be a wife, but also a carer.
Yeah.
And in my role as a carer, I have to think about what I do to look after myself so that I
True.
can look after him. That's very important. My job is not somewhere I go to unwind or relax. So for me, travel has become my safe place.
Yeah.
Travel has become my happy place, and I do a lot of travel. And for anyone who enjoys looking at pictures, there's no limit to the number of pictures I put on Facebook.
Yeah, true.
Because if someone enjoys travel, then like-minded people, they will look at it and enjoy it. And I think, if I've been somewhere and can share something, why not? But basically, travel is what I do to be able to unwind and and also learn. I think it teaches you a lot. So
Very
yeah.
true. Yeah. Thus far in your travels, is there any one place that kind of has, won your heart and which is like the topmost, the best place thus far? Is there any such place you'd like to share with us about?
Um, I'm a naturistic person, so I would say places with landscapes and that sort of thing are what I enjoy. And in that light, one of my best trips was when I went to Alaska.
Okay.
I enjoyed. There was just so much of diversity. There was like the Denali National Park where you saw all sorts of animals. Then I took a trip to the actual Arctic Circle and
Oh,
crossed
wow.
the Arctic line. And for someone else, I would say, what a waste of time to travel 18 hours over there. But for me, because I love landscape, I love nature, those sort of things. Walking on a glacier was,
Oh, wow.
experiencing. So yeah, in that play, that's why I probably liked the Arctic Circle and my trip over there.
That sounds really exciting, Norma. And I have seen some of your pictures. I think one picture that stood for me was of an animal or something like that on a little hillock. I don't know what animal it is. It's in some cold place. I really can't recollect. Maybe an alpaca or something like that, like a similar animal to.
Yes. Yeah. When I went to Peru,
Peru,
yes, you
yeah.
are
So I
talking
think that's
Peru
what
up the
stood out for
mountain.
me. I mean, in your travels, yeah,
Yeah.
that was like a very unusual picture, and that was really
Yeah.
nice. And I remember the animal, and that's the only thing I remember vividly. I have to go back and look at the others now. Yeah, but it's so nice,
Yes,
yeah.
that was a beautiful trip too, because Peru has a lot of beautiful landscapes, like Machu Picchu and the Rainbow Mountain and
Yes,
all beautiful
yeah.
naturistic places. But that's where I gravitate to naturistic
Yeah,
places.
me too. I think even I enjoy that. And I think in some ways, maybe your travel also has been an inspiration to me that, at some point, or maybe when I grow older and I have more time on my hands and some more money, I could, have similar interests as well. But that's really nice and something really inspiring as well for
Yeah.
us.
Let me give you the hot tip. You don't need that much of money. Just do your work and you'll be able to do a lot of things on a little money.
Yeah, I think probably when the boys grow a bit bigger or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice. I think another
It was
remarkable.
lovely to see that picture of Cronin in his year 12. My
Oh,
God.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Oh my God. Year 12, I thought to myself, wow,
I
you're
know.
not a, you're not a little boy anymore.
I know. And when I looked at him, I was like, oh my God. Like, I mean, I was kind of having a little bit of a grieving moment where I was like, we didn't go shopping for anything. He had his own suit, he had a shirt, he had a tie. And
Ah,
and I was like, I have to buy you something new, Krona. I don't feel good. And all we bought for him was a pair of socks. And I had this massive, like a grief moment, like, oh my God. Like, I mean, if it's a girl, the parents go all gaga over like, oh, let's get a dress and dress shopping and whatnot. And I'm like, am I like, have I not done something right? Like, why am I like so relaxed and,
You know what? If he needed something of you, he would tell you. So you must have done something right so that he could go and get it all organized for himself.
Yeah,
So
I
you,
know. So, and that's what I loved about him as well. That he was like, no fuss. He's like, okay, I have my suit, I have a shirt, and dad's tie, and I'm good to go. And
so nice, so lovely to see that. I love people sharing their pictures, no matter what it is. I mean, I don't like gardening and I don't have green thumbs, but I love to see people put their pictures of gardening because that is something I can't do. And if that's what they enjoy, then I'm happy for them. So
yeah,
yeah, set up pictures on
I
Facebook.
think I love to see plants, but I love gardening, but not in that sense wherein you'll see me in the garden every day. I love plants, but I don't really have like green fingers, so it's mostly Elton. But ever
Oh,
once in a while, maybe once in a blue moon, when I want to unwind, then I'll just say, okay, I feel like gardening today, and then I'll just like take care of succulents. But the only thing I can take care of is succulents because they are not demanding, and
yeah,
I can pick up from where I left, so they don't need like continuous nurture or like excessive care.
yeah.
So that's all I can manage. And yeah, so that's what. And I think about that's about it, Norma. We've had a really
Yeah.
nice chat, and I'm really inspired with all your like enthusiasm for community service. And I think one thing that specifically has always touched me deeply about you is the deep, authentic love that you share for your spouse, and how like you're always there for Kevin. And I'm sure it's not like really easy to be a carer, but like I still can't get my head around like how someone would manage a full-time job and caring for the husband and community service. Like it's like, I don't know, I think I wouldn't be able to do something like that. But you play every role with such panache that like it really inspires other people around you to kind of want to do a little more than just sit around in their own comfort zones and you know just be to themselves. You just feel like, come on, like I can do a bit more. If she can do all that, like come on, I can at least lift a finger and at least type in that booking button and say, okay, I'm coming to the event. So that's,
That's a lovely thing to
yeah, that
say.
is really nice. And every time I see you with Kevin and you're so caring, even in a busy event, I always see that you're always around him, or as much as you can possibly be.
Yeah,
And that's really nice. Like it's
you.
something that I've
Thank
kind of
you.
taken from your page, kind of that, like people can be like this, because I've rarely seen people like that who are like deeply caring to the people that they serve. Occasionally they are like a bit like, oh, we've had enough or something, but I've never seen you with that complaint, or like you're always so attentive. So that's really nice, Norma. That's really nice. Thank you for that.
That's a nice thing to say. Thank you.
And as we close down, is there anything else that you have to share, or any quote or anything at all, something inspiring you want to leave us with?
Um, Nothing comes to mind, but I will say this because I realized that you doing this podcast was about with a focus on the GOA, and the GOA is so lucky that you've almost chosen this association to market them through your podcast and through your project. And I will say that a lot of people look at when you're on a committee, it's just a thankless job.
It
And
is, yeah.
there might be moments where I feel like that too. But I've got to say that by the same token, it has done so much for me, so much for my own personal development. It has
Yeah.
built networks for me. I've made friends. I've learned of people like you and Elton, who I would never have known without GOA. So I have a lot to be grateful for. And I would say to anyone, always explore the unknown because you never know what it has for you.
Yeah, totally agree, Norma. And with that, let's wind up to the GOA,
Thank you.
and for
Thank you
always
very much.
doing your very best for us all. Have a nice
Yeah,
evening.
and congratulations.
And that wraps up our lovely segment with Norma. Our next guest is another really important person, in fact, the most important person on the G.O.A committee, and that is our president, Russell De Silva. Let's have a listen as to what Russell's thoughts and ideas about the G.O.A are.
The connection to the Goan community that I said was basically my sister married a Goan, so that's how my connection with the Goan community, because they have the thing, and they wanted to have the roast, all those things. So we had that. That's how I got introduced to the Goan community, and then as I came to Perth, then also joined the G.O.A, the association. Now the reason why I joined the association, because they had the similar events and connection as what we have back at home in the Banner Gymkhana. So coming from a Banner Gymkhana, this was closest to what we have at home. So that's also the reason I joined the G.O.A. So right from when I came here in 2010, I straight away enrolled, because Douglas and his family were actively involved in that. So I think so they did the St. Francis feast was done. I think so they did it. Olga D'Souza, Charles, Alina, Douglas, and all, they had that at the AAA house. And then I remember there, and then because it was December, 4th of December, around that time, Ruban made Christmas sweets, and they put it all on the table, and they had a whole thing and all. So that's the first events which we came, when we first came. That was that November, December time. We came November, and December was there, and then it started, all the thing. So that's that community and that connection to the Goa stuff. So that's how it is. And as I said before, the Banner Gym is on a similar, but they have they have tennis courts, they have badminton, they have swimming pools and a restaurant. But we don't have a building, so that's different. But at least we have functions.
Yeah, that's
where you can get together.
Yeah.
Where you actually get together and you enjoy, the same thing. So that's where the thing is. As you don't expect us to go to the Aussie pubs or the club. I mean, you can go to the pubs.
We feel very out of place.
but the clubs is different.
Yeah, very different.
Because we don't have that disco type music, or that clubbing music and everything.
Yeah.
Though in Bombay you had clubs, but you would still have the Banner Gym, and then we would start off with the Banner Gym and then go to the clubs.
Oh.
So it was. Okay. So you start enjoying over there, meeting up and all, and that's what was a good place. All the friends would meet up over there and then head out to the clubs. One, the booze is cheap, and then the food is cheap, and then the clubs, then you drink less.
True.
It's the same thing what they have over here.
That's
so
nice.
That's how the thing is. Yeah.
And what skills do you think you have developed through this experience of being leading the G.O.A community for 4 years now? Yeah, close to 4 years.
Yeah, close to 4 years. Skills. I was very bad in public speaking. I could not, even meetings also I could not. I would get nervous talking to large meetings, 1 or 2 no problem. 3, 4 no problem. But if I have to present something and all that was the thing. I mean, I still get this thing. I'm not that over it, but at least I started speaking up and doing it spontaneously and saying some. So into it. Read from the thing and all that and all, but I'm still not yet, because when you start reading, then you forget, and then you just speak what's in your head, then trying to read from the paper. So that actually helped me a lot to actually public speaking, smaller groups, and then slowly you can do that. So I think so that one of the key things I've developed over there. Others, patience. Listening to other people, how they talk, because everybody's different.
Yes.
And when you do community, it's totally different from work.
True.
So that's it, because each one is different. Each one is how to. So that one also I've learned how to be patient, how to listen. Previously I should not, I think so, but this gave me a good thing.
Yeah.
As well as exposure to other like ISWA. ISWA was one of the things which helped to, there. And then when I started doing consultancy for them for the new buildings and all, for that.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
those are the things which you otherwise you would not have that, wider networking.
True.
So I usually don't go myself and network.
Yeah.
But I think now I started learning how to network. Before I used to never do that.
True.
I would never, network. And I think so that's one of the, I think you need to network in order to come up in life, as well as get other,
Definitely.
So you meet different people, you find what their views, their work ethics, or their community ethics, as you say.
True,
This work is different. This is community ethics,
Yeah.
So that's where the thing is.
I think, what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Legacy. I think so. What I hope to leave behind is better management from an association point of view. Like, not just events, but look at how we can improve. Like, because otherwise, if you see, the committee does everything.
Yeah.
So you're wasting time on events and everything, but you don't have anything how to build up, how to engage in youth. So you can't do both together.
True. Yeah.
And this is what I was saying. Like, there should be a management committee and there should be a event committee.
Yes. True.
The event committee does events like that. With the management committee, then will look at how they get grants, how they get funding. How you get funding from the government. The government's got so much of funding, and we've actually missed out all this time.
Oh.
So we have really missed out because there's nobody to do it.
Yes.
That's the thing. So that thought, So I think we might need to change and how to look at it, because if you get funding, then you get your tickets can be lower. Then you can make it pretty.
True.
And there's ways of doing it. And then engaging with the youth also.
Yeah.
So that will help them then to have their own functions, their own thing. So I think so now with ISWA there, maybe that might help, having more functions with the youth itself. Yes. And then you don't have a management company. So you have if you have an event company and event committee, then they can come to the management and say, okay, this is the event we want to do, this is the cost. And what we do is yes, as long as you meet your ticket cost and you're breaking even or you're in profit a little bit, there's no problem. The same thing what we are doing.
Yeah.
So we don't, the top management should not be, like, if you move that, then you can concentrate to do that part.
True. I think it's also in a way like the committee, it's not just your committee, but all the committees have been shortchanged in the sense that the community has not been really as involved as other communities are. So that's like a major drawback for us, for all of us.
I think so. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And it is not only, I think so, mainly all the Catholics or we as Christians are not that this thing how the other community. The other communities, they will spend, they will do anything for their community.
That's true.
Even the religion part of it,
Which is also surprising actually, because see, back home we are like that. We are all out for our church. We are all out for our community and whatever. But I don't know why that has changed here. Considering
so if you see the church, let's say if you have take example of St. Emily's, all those people will work towards that one. But if they do the same thing for the G.O.A, it'll be different then.
Yes. Yeah.
Because church is an entity, it has got, a place where you fundraise and everything and you give that charity because you're doing community. So that's towards your religion part of it.
Yeah.
But because this is an association part of it, then it doesn't have if you don't have a base, that's the thing. So not having a base, you can't build then.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a base to meet, how do the young people meet? So that's what I said, if you had a big building.
Yeah, true.
There would be a definite, might have changed. I don't know if it would change, but at least because I looked at Polish, the one at Midland.
Yeah.
So we went there to look at the area to have functions. But I looked at when they had the function, we went for a few functions, all old people again.
Oh.
Because the young people gone over there. Though they have a nice hall, they have a club, they have, billiards, they have carom, they've got a bar and everything. It's only old people come. The young people don't even come there.
Oh, so it's just like us then.
So it is the same thing as us, but I don't know why. Maybe I don't know what the population is or, how they're this thing. But just a thought, like, you know, so
Yeah, probably that
maybe
culture
it might
as well.
work, it might not work.
Yeah, maybe the
But
youngsters are.
they don't have an exercise gym, you see.
Yeah,
So having a gym
possibly.
is one thing where you should always have a workout gym, because that's where
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
will
That's
come.
where all the young people
And then
will come.
they don't have a
True.
tennis court. They don't have a, you know. So those are the things which usually people want to, like
attract.
pickleball. That's it.
True.
So even Badminton has got pickleball now. So they've cut one of the tennis courts and did one for pickleball.
Oh.
Because that's what people want to, you know, members want to do and play. They don't want to play tennis all this time. Once you get older, they find pickleball much easier for them than, you know, tennis.
That makes sense.
The tennis is a strong game. It's not an easy game to play.
Yeah.
Pickleball is much an easier game to play. So that way.
That's true.
So, like you see, maybe financial management also, I think so. We've done well, but I think so. If they manage finance properly, committees should realize that, you know, that it is the community's funds,
Yeah,
but to
that's
build
true.
on.
Yeah.
You know how you do, don't yeah. So there's ways of doing things. So
That's true. I think one also notable thing that you all have achieved, like which I think has always been in the pipeline, but I don't think any committee advanced any further, was to create a database. I think you all have created a database, isn't it?
Not
Or
yet.
at least- I think that's about it, Russell. Is there anything else you'd like to say or, you know, share or anything?
Nothing much, but actually it's good that people come. But I think so youth should come in over here.
Yeah, you should come.
And the membership should be more. Then only people will then have that, you know.
Yeah.
So 235, it should be at least $1,000, you know, for a thing. So
Yeah.
then people will take it seriously, you know.
Probably.
For it.
I mean,
Otherwise, 200, 100 will not, you know, do.
I don't know how else to motivate the people, but yeah, it's like, it's sad from like what it was many years back. I think over the years it's just been like a decline. It's not like grown or, you know.
Yeah. So if you looked at how the migration happens, that's how your association has if you think about it and you look at, that's when I came into the company for first 2 years, the second 2 years, like, okay, why these are, and then all the, you know, the functions which we have, and especially the seniors lunch, and then I realized, like, you know, so those who started it and all right in the beginning, they came from Kenya, they came from there because there was trouble and all, so there's an influx of a lot of Goans coming there. Say for an average, just give an example, like say if there's, like, you know, 100 a month coming into the country of Goans over there, only one or two will join the association, not all 100.
Oh, right, okay.
So I've got people, a lot of people who are Goans in the workplace, they are not bothered about G.O.A. You know?
Really?
So
I mean, I've heard the same.
So you don't have that, you know, that's what I said. So if you look at that, so those are the ones which, and they formed the association because they wanted somewhere to meet and, you know, and have that. But there was no other place. They didn't know the culture. The culture was different. You know, the pubs are different, the clubs are different, everything was different. The association, there was no place to meet. So then they started that. But if you say half of the kids which are there, of all those people, none of the kids come.
They haven't, I agree. True. They haven't continued.
It's only us and all the new people who are coming.
Yeah, we are all the new people.
Category and all those.
That's nice. Anyway, thank you so much, Russell. That was really nice. I mean, I learned a lot of new things. Just besides the G.O.A, I learned about Gymkhana and also lots of really nice, interesting things about your family and life in Bombay, which we as Goans, you know, we can't really survive in Bombay except for this little shopping spree or, you know, time with family. But it's really been very nostalgic, and I think speaking with you also, I've kind of, you know, back to our own memories also in Goa of all these little things, and, you know, get meetups and with friends, and it's hard to get that same feeling here, but I think at least you guys have kept the association together, given us these opportunities to, you know, mix together, or like, you know, it's always a pleasure to come to a G.O.A event, and there's always, you can see all the effort that you all have gone through, months of planning, and, you know, you all have gone all out, like right from the planning to the pack up and everything. So thank you for everything that you all have done.
And what I want to say that we should now, because we got that ISWA building, we should use that as our base.
Yeah, true.
You know, forget about this thing, even if the cost is a little more, but that's where you can continue to start having. I think so when they have this extension done with the kitchen and all on top, and the toilets and all on top, and the practice room also on top, then we can use the practice room and then have events, have skits, and then have all those, your comedy shows and everything we can have on a thing, because everything is there then. You can have like your dinner, this thing with that type of a skip and all, and that's where you will there, because then you don't have to go down. Everything is here.
Yeah, true. The only
like
thing
we
is,
could have zonals. Bombay has a lot of zonals. Like even there was St. Andrews. So the church has a zonal which basically has zones of the parish. So you can still have something like that where it can be a talent, or it can be a skit, it can be but now because it's not there, we can do that, and there we can get, once you get, we pay for the hall. So you say, okay, I'm doing it because of talent building, or through this type of song and whatever, have a sing up, or there's so many things which you can do actually, but time.
Yeah, exactly. Time, and it's hard, with full time. And see, look, back home we have all the help. We have our parents, we have maids and neighbors, everybody helping us out with our kids and with our lives. But here, like, it's like we are the maids, we are the bread earners, we are everything. So, but kudos to you that you took up this you wore these really big, huge shoes, and you really did a really good job, and you are an inspiration to all of us, Russell. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Oh my goodness. And that's the end of my short attempt at a podcast. I have learned so much more about Norma and Russell through these short interviews with them. And honestly, I have more love and more respect for both of them, and not just them, but for the entire G.O.A committee, and for all the people who have gone before them, and for all the people who are brave enough to take on these roles as future committee members. Thank you so much for listening in.